I believe that we're all getting a lot of messages, perhaps more than usual at the minute, despite a lot of the retrograde energy and things that might have been circling back, or people, I was going to say creepy creepsters, things that have been coming back from the past or finding their way onto our social media platforms. It's, if that's distorting or creating confusion or chaos in the moment, there's a lot of messages coming through if we're asking the right question, aligned questions for clarity as to what to invest in and what not, and what to swerve. And that can be in nature, that can be through people. Obviously, we're gifted messages from people that pass us, that say things, from signs and words visually, especially if you're in a land where connectedness to creation and to God and various things is quite strong. It's very strong. Well, a whole variety of belief systems, really. But the main point I was trying to come on for is I was in the water, but this time I was creekside, so there's different ways of connecting with the water here. Rivers, creeks, ocean side, and I'm usually an ocean baby. But I had a beautiful opportunity to go a swim down on the creek, and it was empty, and I was with the mangroves, and I think I spoke about this a long time ago when I first landed, and there was this huge ogre of a baobab down in Mombasa by dolphins, and I felt the strength of the mangrove spirits then. And that was an introduction. It's nothing that I delved into at that moment, but I have, where I'm currently at, started to connect deeper, because I just feel very strongly when I'm in the mangroves. And so swimming there and being in the water without anyone else is quite a sacred vibration between the eye and the surrounding nature and the energy exchange. And in terms of signs, I was saying, like, it's small and subtle and can be missed if we don't shut up, be quiet, slow down, be curious and open, rather than stuck in a particular belief system, because a lot of things are dissolving right now and much is unravelling in ways that we've never experienced. 3:03 on the clock. And as I swam out to sort of the edge of the rocks before the creek became like the actual navigation way for boats, I didn't want to get hit by a boat, so I sort of was there. There's nothing else around me. There's no like algae or seaweed that's in the water, like there's more on the ocean side. And out of nowhere, as I'm just doing my little inner child mermaid, various things I do in the water, I see this leaf just like bobbing towards me, and I look around, no one's there, and I'm like, okay, this is for me. And as this little leaf just comes to the top of the water, I'm like, all right, there's a little fish on top of the leaf, and he's using the leaf as a boat. So it's actually, because of the mangroves, you get, I think they're called mud skippers, you know, and he was on his leaf boat, and I interacted for a few moments, and it was very, very high vibrational, and it made me very happy in those moments that another living being was sharing that moment with me, because it was so beautiful that I was speaking. I say what I need to do out loud, and so some of the spirits hear me and they send little things my way, and so that was that was really beautiful. I mean, there is chaotic energy around, but that was really lovely from the mud skipper to come say hi. And yeah, as I came back to the water, and you enter the creek differently, the mangroves differently to the ocean, because of the consistency of the sand or the mud, and from downriver, and the ocean's different. But I sat for a minute with the trees and the spirits there, and I don't think people are aware that we're not alone when we spend time in those spaces. There are eyes watching, I trust, with loving energy and intention towards us if we cultivate those relationships with the land and with as visitors to a land that we're not born on, and also just our energy signature, the blueprint. It can be picked up by those that are in the non-physical, and it's very powerful. Sometimes I don't always get the chance to meditate and rise to the day in ways that I desire, and so that happened a bit later in the day, and it was very meditative, very the word extraterrestrials coming through, so there's clearly some higher ups at the minute that are maybe asking me to say this, but someone might not want to take that as a sign, but all these little weird and wonderful things happen to me all the time here, so I just clock things up and tot things up as I need to get clarity on the ways that I'm moving. And we don't need to share our little stories with everybody. We can share certain stories because storytelling and oral tradition and our love for the messages that we receive once things are done and dusted, not while we're manifesting. Like once the visions have come to life, then it's, we can share things. It's important to leave that legacy. This is a vocal, like oral tradition, oral history, and that's very big on this continent. And I'm feeding into that in ways that I'm able to, as someone, again, who's not born on this land, but who's also, got a deep connection to words and sharing and chatting shit, as I might people say, talking my stuff. So, mud skipper also might be an animal that you connect with, but that was really deep. Even now, I can just see his little face, and every time I move the leaf, it dipped round and he came back and he was on his little leaf boat. So magical moment in nature, and I trust that you're all having yours and you're slowing down so that we don't miss these divine little 733, we don't miss these moments.